Hello, welcome to My Dreams Academy. This is the 11th question from the TSNPDCL Assistant Engineer exam paper. An overhead line at a river crossing is supported from two towers. Okay, we have a two towers like this of height 30 meters. The height of this one is 30 meters and height of next one is 90 meters. The difference between 90 and 30 is height, that is 60 meters. S2 minus S1 is equals to 60 meters. This is nothing but height. Next, above water level with the span of 300 meter. The span is 300 meters. The span between these two towers is 300 meters. Next, the weight of the conductor. Weight of the conductor is 1 kg per meter, and the working tension. The working tension T is 2000 kg. 2000 kg. The clearance between conductor and the water level midway between the tower is. Okay, we need to find the clearance between conductor and water level. Conductor and water level midway between the towers is. Right. The distance, the height of this one is 30. The height of this one is 90. Let us consider this is A, this is B. Now, we know one formula, that is weight and height square, that is L square divided by 2 into T. Here S2 is 90 meters and this S1 is 30 meters. So, I am writing like this: H, the difference is 60, which is equals to, the W value is 1 kg and T is 2000. So, W by 2T, I am writing like this, that is 1 by 2 into T, that is 2 into 2000, it will give 4000. 4000 minus this L square, that is nothing but the difference between these two, that is nothing but x2 square minus x1 square, x2 square minus x1 square. Okay, that is we are finding the length. Now this will give 60 is equals to, this value is 60 into 4000, 60 into 4000, which is equals to x2 square minus x1 square, that is nothing but x2 minus x1 into x2 plus x1, a square minus b square, a plus b minus a minus into a minus b. So already I know the span between these two, x2 plus x1, that is 300. The span is 300 meters. So 60 into 4000, which is equals to x2 minus x1 into the span is 300 meters. 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 will get cancelled, 3 1s are 20s are. So it will give x2 minus x1 is equals to 800. x2 minus x1, x2 minus x1 is equals to 800. Already I know one thing, that is x1 plus x2. x2 plus x1 will give 300 meters. 2x2 is equals to 1100 meters. Next, x2 is equals to, it will give 550 meters. But the total distance between these two towers is 300 meters, but x2 given 550 meters. From this I can calculate x1. x2 minus x1 equal to 800, x1 plus x2 equal to 300. From this x1 is equals to, I will get 250 meters. From this I will get x1 is equals to 250 meters. But observe, the distance between this is only 300 meters. How I can justify this one? That is nothing but this is 90 meters, this is 30 meters, and one another point at O, this is consider O, from this place to x2, this place, it will give 550 meters. It will give 550 meter. Similarly, the distance between these two will give, this is minus 250. So, the distance between these two is 250. The distance between these two is 250. Now we need to calculate the midpoint. Now we need to calculate the midpoint. How I can calculate the midpoint? That is nothing but midpoint x. Let us take, there is a one midpoint, this is x. How I can calculate that one? That is nothing but this total distance, that is 250, plus the span, that is 300 meters. The span is 300 meters, divide by 2. So, it will give x, that is nothing but midpoint. 250 plus 150, it will give 400 meters. Here it is 250 and 150, this one 150 meters. So, x is 400 meters, x1 is minus 250, x2 is 550 meters. Now, I would like to calculate sag at this place, that is at x equal to 400 meters. I will calculate now. That is omega value. What is omega value? 1 divided by 2t, that is nothing but 400 into x square, that is 400 square. 400 into 400, 0 0 0 0 will get cancelled, 0 will get cancelled. Total it will give 4 4 get cancelled, it will give 40. Total it will give 40 meters. Then after, next calculate sag at this place, that is x2. So, it will give at x2, omega value is 1, omega by 2t, that is nothing but 4000 into 550 into 550, 0 0 0 0 will get cancelled. So, 55 into 55 divide by 40, 55 into 55 divide by 40, it will give 75.625. 75.625. What is the difference between these two? That is, the difference between these two is 35.625. The difference between these two is 35.625 at midway, at this place, 35.625. Now, what we need to see in the question, we need to calculate the clearance between the tower and this midpoint, the difference between these two. So, the final answer is the distance between 90 meters minus 35.625. It will give around 54 point something. It will give 54 point around 375. 54.375. This is the correct answer. But see the options, no option is given correctly. So, not applicable. Answer is not applicable. So, no answer. This question was eliminated in TS NPTCL. The correct answer is 54.375. Very lengthy question, but it is very important. And we will going to see next question, that is 12th question. Next 12th question, the question is AC voltage of 50 AC voltage of 50 volts RMS. This is RMS value. And 50 hertz frequency. We know Indian frequency is 50 hertz. Yes, 50 hertz. Is applied to load consisting of two resistors. Okay, we have a two resistors. We have a two resistors like this. One value is 300 ohms and another one is 200 ohms. 200 ohms connected in series. We are applying this 50 volts RMS, 50 volts RMS and 50 hertz frequency to this one. So it is AC. AC is given to two series connected resistors. Now one PMMC, permanent magnet moving coil meter is connected to this place, that is 0 to 60. The range is 0 to 60 volts. The 0 to 60 volts PMMC voltmeter is used to measure the voltage across this one. Okay, now here PMMC, I have connected PMMC at this place. By using PMMC I would like to calculate voltage across this 200 ohms. What is the reading shown by the voltmeter? We need to see what is the reading shown by this meter. Okay, see, very simple question, very simple question. First of all, if I don't know anything about PMMC, what I have to do? Calculate the voltage division, calculate the voltage across this one. So it will give total voltage is 50 into 200 divided by 500. 0, 0, 0, 0 will get cancelled. So it will give 5 ones. So 20 volts. I'll see the options once. I'm going to write the options here. Option A is 50 volts. Option B is 30 volts. Option C is 20 volts. Option D is 0. Okay, these are the options. If I don't know anything about PMMC, definitely my answer will be 20 volts. But this is wrong. Answer. Sir, why this is wrong? Because the PMMC is measure average value. It will measure average value. We need to see the average value. Before going to see average value, first of all we have to see the waveform of the voltage across 200 ohms. What is the voltage waveform? That is AC, pure AC. What is the average value of pure AC? Average value is 0. So answer for this is 0, not 20. Okay, PMMC measures average value. MI instruments, that is moving iron instrument, measures RMS value. This you have to remember, RMS value. So voltage across 200 ohms, by using PMMC it will give 0. Okay, this is about 12th question. Very simple. This is from electrical measurements. Next we are going to see 13th question. 13th question. The question is power measurement of 400 volts. So this is also from measurements only. So given data, that is 400 volts and 50 hertz. 400 volts and 50 hertz. 3-phase star connected. 3-phase star connected. Yes, 3-phase star connected. System done by using 2 wattmeter method. This is done by using 2 wattmeter method. 2 wattmeter method. The current drawn by the load, that is IL is equals to 5 amperes. IL is equals to 5 amperes. At 0 power factor, at ZPF leading, ZPF leading. Readings of both wattmeters. Readings of both wattmeters. 0, 0. Option B 1725, 1725. Option C, that is 996, minus 996. And option D, that is 1725, 0. So these are the options. Now we need to check which option is correct. First of all, we have to know about 2 wattmeter method, okay, and star connected. Our system is star connected in like this. The system is star connected like this, and I have connected 2 wattmeter method. 1 wattmeter at this place, and similarly another wattmeter at this place. Like this it is connected. This is wattmeter 1 and this is wattmeter 2. Now by using 2 wattmeter method, we know the reading of wattmeter 1, that is VL IL cos 30 minus theta, first one, and second one W2, that is VL IL cos 30 plus theta. These are the 2 values, okay. Now here it is mentioned that ZPF lead, ZPF 0 power factor. Power factor is 0, that is cos pi is equals to 0. So pi is equals to obviously 90 degrees. Substitute this 90 degrees in W1 and W2, you will get answer, that is W1 is equals to VL IL, that is 400 into 5. So it will give 2000 into cos 30 minus theta, that is cos 30 minus 60. So cos minus 60. Cos minus 60. So cos minus theta will give cos theta only. So 2000 cos 60 value is 1 by 2. So it will give 1000. It will give 1000 watts. Similarly, you calculate W2. You calculate W2. The W2 value will give VLIL value is 2000. Anyhow, VLIL value is 2000. And cos 30 plus theta, that is cos 120. Cos 120. Cos 120 value is minus 0.5. It will give minus 1000 watts. But see the options. 0, 0. Yes, this is wrong answer. 1725, 1725. This is also wrong answer. 996 minus 996. And 1725, 0. This is also wrong answer. So the only option is this one. Okay, it is near to 1000 only. But in the exam we have a very less time. Okay, in the exam we have a very less time. That is, we need to solve 100 questions in 120 minutes. 120 minutes. Is there any another alternator method to calculate this one or solve this one? Yes, we have another alternator method. That is, see, if the angle between, if the theta is 0 degrees, if the theta is 0 degrees, that is called power factor is UPF. Power factor is unity. And what about W1 and W2 reading? What about W1 and W2 reading? That is W1 is equals to W2. This is the condition at theta is equals to 0 degrees. Similarly, theta is equals to 30 degrees. What is the cos 30? That is root 3 by 2. That is nothing but 0.866. If theta equal to 30 degrees, the power factor is 0.866. And here W1 is equals to 2W2. That is nothing but 1 wattmeter reading is double than that of another wattmeter reading. Anyhow, W1 plus W2. Always W1 plus W2 will give total power. Total 3-phase power. This we have to remember. Next, if theta is equals to 60 degrees, if theta equal to 60 degrees, cos 60, 0.5. At this place, 1 wattmeter value is equals to 0. The remaining power will be measured by using next wattmeter method. Next wattmeter. And similarly, if theta equal to 90 degrees, if theta equal to 90 degrees, cos 90 is 0. That is 0 power factor, whether it is leading or lagging. And W1 is equals to minus W2. W1 is equals to W2 at theta equal to 0 degrees. W1 is equals to minus W2 at theta equal to 90 degrees. See this case, the power factor is ZPF. Only this is enough. If the power factor is ZPF, that is 0 power factor, then W1 is equals to minus W2. See the options, only one option is correct, that is 996 comma minus 996. So only option is giving equal values, but the magnitude is different. Like that we can able to calculate only by using power factor. You have to remember this table. If you know this table, it is very easy to calculate. You can solve this in 5 to 10 seconds. You can solve this question in 5 to 10 seconds. Next question. We are going to see next question. That is from electronic measurements, I think so. Yes. Lissajous figures this question from. So, two voltages are equal frequency, but the phase difference between, that is theta is equals to 90 degrees. If the theta is equals to 90 degrees, I will read the question. When a two equal voltages of equal frequency but 90 degrees phase difference are applied to horizontal and vertical deflecting plates, the pattern appearing on the screen. We need to see which pattern will be appearing on the screen. Okay. So, if theta is equals to 0 degrees, the pattern. So, let us consider this is x axis and y axis. This is at 0 degrees, this is at 90 degrees, and this is at 180 degrees, and this is 270 degrees. Again it is 360 degrees. Okay. If the phase difference between voltage and current is 0 degrees, then the waveform is like this, that is straight line passing through the origin. So, like this. If theta is equals to 90 degrees, so it will give circle. Then what about angle between 0 to 90 degrees? It will give ellipse, like this. Okay. It will give ellipse. Similarly, if it is 180 degrees, so it is the straight line passing through the origin. Similarly, this is also straight line passing through the origin. But if it is between 90 degrees to 180 degrees phase shift, so it will give like this, clockwise. Next, if it is 270 degrees, so again it will give circle, but this is clockwise, this is anti-clockwise. In between these two, so it will give ellipse, but it is anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, in between these two, it will be like this, but anti-clockwise direction. This is what about total Lissajous figures. Here the question is given that the phase difference is 90 degrees. So, which answer is correct? That is circle. If the direction is given clockwise, this is the answer for the 14th question. Now we are going to see 15th question. That is Kelvin's double bridge is used to measure. This is also from measurements question only. Kelvin's, that is Kelvin's double bridge. This is very important. That is, it is used to measure low resistance. So, which question is this one? That is 15th question. Kelvin's double bridge is used to measure low resistance. The remaining all other options, that is high voltage, high resistance. Which device is used to measure high resistance? Which device? That is Megger. High resistance, Megger. Megger is used to measure high resistance. Next one, medium resistance, that is Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge is used to measure medium resistance. Similarly, low resistance. Low resistance, Kelvin's double bridge method is used for finding the low resistance. Next one, medium and high resistance, that is Wheatstone bridge only. Next we are going to see 16th question. That is, if voltage is measured using potentiometer. Okay, this question is also from measurements only. If voltage is measured using potentiometer, so we know the potentiometer, then under balanced condition of the instrument is at a balanced condition. Under balanced condition of the instrument, which of the following options is correct? Which of the following options is correct? We know only one thing, that is under balanced condition. Under balanced condition. At balanced condition, power consumed in the circuit containing the unknown EMF is 0. Okay, at balanced condition, there is no current flowing through the unknown EMF. The current flowing through unknown EMF is 0. So, what is the power consumed in the unknown EMF? That is P is equals to 0. So, option A is correct. You no need to read another options also. So, if the voltage is measured using potentiometer, then under the balanced condition of the instrument is at balanced condition, which of the following option is correct? That is power consumed in the circuit containing the unknown EMF is 0. Okay, the power at unknown EMF is 0. Next we are going to see 17th question. This is also from measurements only. So many questions was asked from the measurements. That is, what is the next question? Which of the following is used to measure the frequency? Which of the following is used to measure the frequency? Frequency. Yes, option A, Hayes bridge. Hayes bridge is used to find inductance. So, this one is wrong. Next, option B, that is Kelvin's double bridge. Just now only we have seen the Kelvin's double bridge is used to find low resistance. Low resistance measurement. Similarly, option C, that is De-Sauty bridge. This is used to find capacitance. So, this one is also wrong. This one is also wrong. So, option D, that is Vane's bridge. Yes, Vane's bridge is used to find the frequency. Vane's bridge is used to find the frequency. The frequency will be calculated like this, that is 1 by 2 pi under root R1 C1 R2 C2. This is the formula to find the unknown frequency by using Vane's bridge. Next question, that is 18th question, peak inverse voltage. This question from, I can say, analog electronics or from power electronics. So, peak inverse voltage of half wave rectifier. Peak inverse voltage of half wave rectifier. What is the peak inverse voltage? First of all, we are going to say, this is AC supply. When AC supply is given to one diode, this is load, this is the load. AC supply is given to load by using one diode, it will act as a half wave rectifier. Half wave rectifier, the input waveform is like this, AC sinusoidal, and output waveform is like this. If it is forward bias, it will allow. If it is reverse bias, it will reject. Like this. This is the output waveform of half wave rectifier, output voltage of half wave rectifier. Now what is the voltage across this diode? What is the voltage across this diode? When the device in the forward bias, the voltage across the device is 0. When the device in the reverse bias, the voltage across the device is same voltage. Okay, like this. Now what is the magnitude of this one? What is the maximum magnitude? What is the maximum magnitude of this one? That is minus Vm. This is the peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage is defined like this. When the device in the reverse bias condition, what is the maximum voltage that you are applying to the load? What is the maximum voltage that you are applying by using the source? Okay, this is the peak inverse voltage. So peak inverse voltage for the half wave rectifier is Vm. Similarly, peak inverse voltage for full wave bridge rectifier is also Vm. Similarly, peak inverse voltage for semi full wave, that is nothing but center tapped transformer. Okay, center tapped connection, that is 2 Vm. Half wave, full wave with a center tapped. This is about this question, and we are going to see next question, that is 19th question. This is about 18th question. 19th question is from analog electronics, that is about FET. FET is nothing but field effect transistor. Field effect transistor has high input impedance, and similarly it is a voltage control device. BJT is a current controlled device. So the question about FET, field effect transistor. We know FET is like this. This is drain, this is source, and here we have a gate, like this: drain, gate, source. And here FET can be used as a amplifier by operating it in, okay, option A, cutoff region, option B, that is ohmic region, option C, that is constant current region, option D, that is breakdown region. So which one is correct? So if you wanted to know this one, we have to draw the graph. So it will be like this. This is the voltage, okay, voltage VD, yes, and this is current ID. This is voltage controlled device. FET is a voltage controlled device with high input impedance. Okay, now at VGS is equals to 0 volts. This range is cutoff region, and this one is ohmic region. In this range, the resistance of a FET is not constant, and in this range, this is constant current region. Another name of constant current region is saturation. So FET act as an amplifier at constant current region. The FET act as a amplifier at constant current region, and this is about this question, and we are going to see next question, that is question number 20. Question number 20. What is the question? That is CMRR CMRR, common mode rejection ratio. Common mode rejection ratio in a operational amplifier, op amp. Okay, CMRR of op amp, that is given. CMRR is 10 power plus 5, and differential gain AD is equals to 10 power 5, and AC value. What is the common mode gain of amplifier? We need to calculate this one. What is the common mode gain of the amplifier? The CMRR can be calculated like this. That is differential gain by common mode gain. AD value is, I know, that is 10 power 5. And I need to calculate this one. I know CMRR, that is 10 power 5. 10 power 5 and 10 power 5 will get cancelled. So AC is equals to, common mode gain is equals to 1. So which option is correct? Option A is 10 power 10, that is wrong. Option B is 2 into 10 power 5, that is also wrong. Option C, that is 10 power 5, that is also wrong. Option D is 1. Option D is 1. That's all about this 10 questions, and remaining 10 questions we'll see in the next video. Thank you all.